Our next company is called Gushcloud International. I believe that they need no introduction. They are well known. They are in 13 cities across the world, right, including in the Tokyo and Australia, right, and so on. I believe that Gushcloud International just celebrated its 10th anniversary. So happy birthday, Gushcloud.
Yes,
Congratulations on the 10th anniversary. Hi, Joe. Hello, welcome,
yes,
Joe.
hello.
And I believe you have more than 200 employees. So it's a very it's a growing, expanding company. And right now, it's my pleasure to introduce the speaker for Gushcloud, Mr. Joe Tan. He's the head of product at Gushcloud International, and he leads the product development within Gushcloud. Joe, are you ready to tell us more about your business challenge?
Yes, sure. Thank you, Billy,
Please
for
take
the
it away.
introduction. Okay.
Yeah.
So I would share my screen to begin.
Okay, we'll just look up for your screen. Okay, I can see your slide. It says how we evaluate. So let's go to the first one. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, take it away, Joe. Looking forward to your presentation.
Yeah. Hi everyone, good afternoon. So I'm again from Gushcloud International. At Gushcloud International, we have like different units. So mainly the agency units, which deal with like influencers and also talent and studio, which we work with like more creative content creators on YouTube, on the different social media platform, and of course like entertainment and social, where we try to like enhance and build different revenue stream for our content creators and talents. So as Billy introduced, like we are in 11 countries. So our problem actually span across like different countries, and it's quite international. Like our offices, we have like offices in Southeast Asia, for example, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, East Asia. We have like Korea, Japan, and also like last 2 years we expanded to China, Australia, and also the US. So our problem statement, although it's simple, but I think in terms of like the scale and the complexity of it is really a global problem that we try to address over here. Yes. So the problem statement here is really quite simple. It says influencer identification. So a lot of our work involve. Hi, hello. It's okay. Yeah. So a lot of our work actually involve influencer identifications, which is to match influencers with brands and clients' requirements. So this can sometimes be quite tedious in terms of like shortlisting and finding the right influencers to match with the brands and their requirements. So there are a lot of like factors that goes into these requirements. For example, brand safety. For example, are the followers like authenticate? Are they real followers? And so on and so forth. And are they suitable for the brand image? And then there are different kind of like brand image, maybe a lifestyle brand image. It may be a esports, it may be beauty brands, it may be for parenting, and so on and so forth. So there are a lot of different categories of like brands and clients we work with, and it stretches across different countries. So the current method we use, as for example, like we do have a system, an internal platform that we store influencers that we collaborate and work with across Southeast Asia and different countries, and then but we still requires a lot of manual vetting of these like influencers and content creators. For example, our team, like who is in charge of like sourcing and looking for content creators for the brand's requirements, would still go onto social media platform, to their Instagram, to kind of like vet through their profiles to ensure that they are suitable. Of course, we do have some data labels and tagging to help them refine the search, but this process is still quite extensive, I would say. It would take them like maybe a day or two to meet, to browse through all the different shortlists and create this like content creators and recommend them to the clients. And so this is usually the process, right? A client come to us, we will try to gather all the requirements, whether where your brand is from, which location are you looking to target the audience, what are the kind of demographics you want to reach out to? Is it a youthful demographic, or is it a more mature parent, people who are already a parents, and so on and so forth? And what are the guidelines, what are kind of things they want to post? For example, there may be a certain kind of image, certain kind of like video style they want to create to for their campaign requirements. And of course, like not to miss out the goals and KPIs that eventually they want to measure for the success of their campaigns. So this is usually then captured within our CRM system. Then it moves into our sales team, right? Or once it moves to our sales team, someone would then be assigned to create a proposal. Now in this proposal, usually we want to create like we see previously, a list of influencers that actually would meet the requirements. And this creation is important because usually the client will vet through 1 time or 2 time to then approve or then reject certain kind of like the whole creation short list of influencers and content creators. So you can imagine, like if this initial proposal is not well created, then this process would actually take longer. And when this process would take longer, then of course it increases. We want to keep it short so that we keep the client closer to us as far as possible. So that would really help resolve a lot of pain point within our team. So what are we looking for? It's really if we could automate this whole process that we shared earlier, right? So this whole process of like looking at the requirements today is manual, and someone understanding the requirements, then go to our internal platform to then search for all these influencers. Now, what if we have a system, right, which could actually take in the requirements from the clients, from brands, and automatically understand, systematically categorize these requirements and match them with groups of different influencers in different categories and across different countries and regions. For example, if the brief is to come in that, oh, I'm a Korean brand, I'm looking to target an influencer in Thailand, for example, right? So in this case, taking a requirements from maybe understanding, let's say, English language first, but it would be fantastic if the system could understand actually Korean, right? And then look for Thai influencers this system could actually understand content of the content creators or influencers in Thai and actually categorize them, right? And so, like, for example, if the brand is a beauty brand and looking for beauty influencers in Thailand, and now this system could actually automatically churn out a proposal, a list of created influencers based on the requirement. Now, so this would actually cut short our whole process of like searching and identifying influencers. So this is actually what we are looking for. So a system which could categorize and match influencers according to different requirements. So what is in it for you is the prize money of 50,000 for this challenge, and also I believe based on given our skill and our reach of like insights and content creators and influencers, we actually are present in, and you will be able to by collaborating with us, you'll be able to actually learn I think a lot of like access of information, insights, and how it works in this industry, especially like working with content creators and influencers across different countries, like Southeast Asia, East Asia, and also in Australia and US. So how do we evaluate? I think we really look for solution in terms of solution fit, right? We will look out if there's a demonstration of deep understanding of this industry, mainly in this like space of like digital content creators, marketing, and advertising. That would be a bonus. So if you have worked with similar data sets in terms of social media profiles, and that would be really helpful. Of course, like if there's already a technology that we can tap on to start, do all this like matchmaking process, and it's a plug-in solution ready available for us to kind of like integrate, that would also be really good. Solution advantage, if I believe like that would be in terms of the accuracy of the results. Now, how we measure the accuracy of results in terms of like the creation, I think it's going to be kind of like a few process with our team to then look through the results to see. I think there's a certain aspect of like human kind of like to verify if they're accurate or not. So that would be kind of like the solution advantage we look for. And of course, like if your company already have like experience processing social media in marketing, and of course understand performance marketing, that will be a bonus as well. Okay, so we need your idea to be submitted by 16 July. And yep, that's all I have. It's quite simple, but yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much, Joe. A very, very interesting presentation. Plus, I like your Ask Me Anything, AMA.
Yeah.
We can invite a lot of questions from the floor. But okay, before we turn to the floor, I have questions for you, actually, Joe. One is that, okay, this is the burning question that I think everybody in the audience wants to know. And we ask this of almost every presenter. Okay, what other options has Gushcloud considered before turning to OIP? And why didn't these options work out for you?
I think like other options we look for, I think it's in terms of like maybe other kind of like platforms. I believe there are similar platforms out there, and there are also like we built our internal tool as well. I think why we wanted this proposal is really because we wanted to have own the information and data insights instead of like relying on third party. I think first is a self-reliance. To get access into this information and start building up these data insights across in terms of like this matching system. So to be self-reliant in this process, and this OIP actually fits very well into this goal.
Okay, thank you very much, Joe. I must value coffee for giving a shout out to OIP. Thank you very much once again.
Yes.
Okay, there's a request from one of our attendees. It says, could you showcase slides 6 and 7 again? Maybe you just help us show slide 6.
Oh yeah, slide
problem
6.
statement. Yeah. Yes. And I think they want to see 7 as well. So why is 7?
Oh, if it's too small, maybe I
can. Yeah.
I could make
maybe
it bigger.
Just flash slide 6 for the timing. But there's a very interesting question next from the floor, and it's something that I also wanted to ask, because I noticed that in your business challenge brief, right, you guys asked for one of the features is you must have a personalized mood board. The system should generate a personalized mood board of the influencers. So the question from the floor is, do you have a vision of how the personalized mood board looks like, and what are some key info that you need in this mood board?
I think a mood board in this process, right? I think it is, if you see, it's more towards the database influencers information, more towards there. Like I was sharing the requirements of the content style before from the clients, right, or the brands. Sometimes they would require certain kind of product placement, right? Certain kind of style, because it has to match the brands. What we usually do now when our team actually vet through the content creators, we look at the style of content as well. For example, is it like more towards feminine? There may be like certain characteristics, right? I don't have the exact like what are the attributes right now. It's when we work on the problem deeper together. So maybe the brands could come up with a certain mood board, right? And then, based on the content created by those influencers, we could also match them together, right? You know what I mean? So kind of like if it's a sports brand, then probably, we want someone very athletical, right? And every day sharing about, sports, content, but maybe not too, but there may be some brand safety, right? So maybe not too much exposing themselves and stuff like that, right? Yeah, so depending on the requirements from the brand, so that is what the moodboard could be, and then based on that moodboard, we could match the content of their influencers.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, currently, how do you guys prepare the mood boards?
The mood boards, we do have tools to search for some of the top content of the content creators, and of course, we still manually vet through this content to see if they actually matches the requirements of the client. So if the system could start understanding not just the text content, but actually the image content and match them together, that would be very interesting as well.
Okay, so the system must have a bit of a visual intelligence to understand the kind of visual look that and feel that the client's looking for.
Yes,
sounds like a challenge, but I think our tech solver community, no problem, they can do it. I'm very sure. Okay, right. Another question from the floor. Is the solution expected to cover regional influences or require multi-language abilities? Joe, maybe you can just expand on this.
I think ideally, because we work across different regions and country, the eventual solution should cover across and be localized across different countries that we are in. Mainly, I think Southeast Asia countries are the most important to us. So for example, we do have a lot of regional campaigns requirements, like I was sharing, a Thai brand looking to access Indonesia, a Korean brand looking to access Thailand, and stuff like that. So breaking down and helping the client to match as fast as possible by having this system understand the content in Thai and matching the requirements in Korea. I think that is the most ideal. But of course, like in the initial prototype, it could be in English, like processing the semantics and the language in English first. And then, I believe eventually, further, enhancements could be worked towards to, understanding localized language and terms and so on and so forth.
Okay, so just to clarify for the audience, right? So for the prototype, we work with English, but in future, or it's a nice to have. It'd be good to have multilingual capabilities. So for the prototype, English is okay, right? Joe, that's it, right?
Yes,
okay,
yes.
That's great. Okay, so don't worry about it if you can't support multilingual capabilities at this point in time. As long as your engine can do it in English, it's good enough for Gushcloud. Okay, next question. Oh, we have a lot of business-oriented people in the audience today. Okay, yes. What are the metrics you're looking at to track and analyze campaign analytics? Joe?
Metrics we're looking at to track and analyze campaign, and so to measure campaign success, right? I would think. So that will be really depending on the goals and requirements of the campaign. So again, very often we track impressions, but more towards performance today, as we are moving towards campaigns and brands. I mean, initially it was in the industry, it was a lot more about awareness and impressions. Today is more about views and engagement, but we are actually moving towards performance as well, and it moves beyond just the views and engagement. Usually on different platforms there are different measurements. For example, on Instagram it would be views and likes. Facebook, there are different engagement. You can like, you can heart, and the number of unique views and the duration of each video. So these are some of the common measurements. But as we work with brands more towards the commerce side of it, then we may want to start adding in campaign measurement success in terms of click through, and eventually a click through plus a sales, right? So that we can provide the full end-to-end services.
Okay, thank you, Joe. That was a very good answer. Yeah, I believe that should answer the question from the floor. Okay, we have one more question. I think today has been quite an interesting session because we have a lot of questions for every speaker. Okay, this comes from Hannes Santana. I think there are two questions, but let's start with the first one. Hi, Joe. What emphasis are you putting on influencer content matching versus target audience matching? And how deep would you go into both in terms of data points? Wow, tough question there from Hannes.
Okay, content matching and target audience. I think yeah, this one is a bit tricky. I wouldn't say it would be the same for every client. It will depend on the client requirements. I think a lot of time if we look at more towards performance, so the client really looking for performance, right? Then I think we look at more towards the demographics and matching the right demographic and insights to ensure they have the highest reach and ROI for their campaigns. If it's kind of like an awareness campaign, that they need some creative content that can help them go viral in some way, then maybe content matching would place emphasis higher. So I mean it really depends on the client requirements, and in terms of like how the system will allocate the weightage, right? I think yeah, if based on the content, the campaign requirements, and the system could actually allocate the weightage, say okay, this client is actually looking for performance, and therefore the data insights of the demographics is more important. So we could do a weightage of 30 in terms of content and 70 in terms of like their data insights, right? So if say, oh, this client is looking for really creative content to go viral, right? And not so much target audience, because they just have a wide target audience, then maybe we can set the weightage to be like 60 and 40 and something like that.
Okay,
maybe
so
that would be something that would,
yeah, sounds like you're looking for a flexible set of parameters. So it depends on each individual client and case by case basis. So it won't be the same set of parameters for all campaigns. Yeah, that's what I'm getting from you. Okay, one more question from Hennis. I think he or she is really interested in this topic.
Thank
okay,
you.
So talking about performance, what will be the relevance of the demographics breakdown of engagement? For example, the gender split on likes and comments. Tough one, Joe. What do you say?
Also thinking about what would be the sorry, the question again.
Okay, the question is just 1 second. Okay,
relevance of
what will be relevance of the demographics breakdown of engagement? For example, the gender split on likes or comments.
Yeah, definitely. These are some of the insights we already have in terms of like some estimates and information. So those are most important. I think they are very relevant for every campaign. We do look at the insights in terms of the gender split. It goes back to the requirements again, the demographics. Who are they looking for? Like, is it like 20 to 25, and this really specific age, and then they have to be like female or male oriented audiences. So we look at their audience insights, and not the like female content creator. They could be a male but content creator but with a lot of female audience, and so on and so forth. So we get them through a variety of sources today. Like one is like through estimate, like sampling, and also from the social media platform themselves. So through this like different insights, I think we then make a decision on who to select as well. I would say the emphasis on this accuracy has to be very, very important and relevant.
Okay, thank you very much, Joe. I'm just going to check for any more questions from the floor. This has been a very, very fascinating topic, especially when we're talking about trying to spot the next generation of KOLs who can really drive big campaigns. Okay, I think that's about it. Thank you very much, Joe Tan, Head of Product at Gushcloud International. Joe, I look forward to all the exciting submissions for your business challenge. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, this has been Joe Tan from Gushcloud International. And with that, we're going to call an end to today's Innovation Thursday.